Hey, welcome, guys. This is Tony Porter, and this is Tabletop Baseball Digest, and we're looking at a couple of deep drive charts, which a lot of guys have been asking about, and that's the runner advancement chart, and then, of course, the choice chart to take the extra base. So let's quickly look at that. Now, in this game, you have very slow players, average players, fast players, and very fast players, and that's all going to play a role, plus the type of single that it is, the type of hit that it is, whether it's in the gap or it's right at an outfielder will also make a difference. Remember to like and subscribe my channel, and join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group and Deep Drive Facebook group for the latest in what's hot and exciting in our hobby. So let's talk first about the runner advancement on hits. When you see a question mark, and let me, like right here, you got a question mark here on a double. An average runner can take an extra base. Anytime you see a question mark, you have the choice of taking an extra base or playing it safe. So very fast runners will get an advantage, fast runners will get an advantage, and so forth. Slow runners and very slow runners will be at a disadvantage. In many instances, they won't even be able to go, right? But here, so most of the time, these slower players will not be able to go. There's a chance here for a slow player, and with 2 outs, a very slow player would become a slow player, and he has a chance because there's a question mark on a single plus. Single pluses are in the gaps, sometimes are mostly cut off, but they take a little bit longer to get to than a ball that's hit right at an outfielder. So let's go over to the choice chart and see how that works. So we're going to roll. We're going to basically roll two D10s for this game. And if you roll a 0-0, the runner is caught in a run down. Okay, and then of course, or you have, if runner thrown out is not very slow, he buys time for other runners to advance. Then you can a second roll after that, gives you more specific, detailed information. Okay, so then on a 0-1, you roll those 2d10, you get the 0-1, excuse me. Runner is called out, safe on a closed play. 0-2, runner is called safe after collision, and then you roll for further information. A 1d10 roll would be required for an injury. Then 0-3, out unless the fielder covering the bag is rated a 1 or lower. A 1 is very good, that's a top. Sometimes you can be a 0. 0-4, actually, I'm sorry, a 1 or lower, out. Okay, so if no, 1 is bad actually. 5 is good in this game. Excuse me. So if you have a terrible fielder, he will probably allow the base runner to sneak in there and to be safe. 0-4, out unless the fielder covering the bag is rated a 2 or lower. And then 5 to 97 is where you check roll against the speed of the runner to determine the result. Now, very fast runners are going to be safe 5 to 88. So that's 90% of the time, except for a couple of outs here, right? So let's say about 90% very fast runners. Then you have, of course, a hold rating on 89 to 97, and then there's no out here for very fast runners. Okay, so they would only be thrown out once in a while, and it would be up here in what goes on in the first part of the chart. So fast runners are safe from 5 to 86, or 81% of the time, I guess, or a little bit less, 80% of the time, you could say. So this is 90% of the time, this is 80% of the time. Most players are average, and they would be from 5 to 82. So they would be safe when the range falls within those two numbers. And that is a little bit less, probably 78% of the time, you could say. Slow runners, now you're looking at 55% of the time they will be safe. And so that's a 50-50 proposition there. And then you're looking at very slow runners, only a 35, a little bit less, maybe 33% of the time they will be safe. So definitely I would not run with very slow or slow players. And that's pretty much how. Now there is a hold section here, and there's an out section. The out section for slow players is very big, and as you get faster, it reduces for very fast players. There's no out section other than if you roll up here. 96 to 97 has basically for fast runners, and then 91 to 97, 68 to 97. And then a 98, runner out after a collision at the base, roll again on the injury chart, and then 99, runner called out on close play, argues and is ejected. So now you have also a cutoff chart. So if you're winning 6-1 and a run comes around, don't bother to throw home, just cut it off, and then you can, if the roll calls for an outfielder, use modifier die to determine which one to use. On the cutoff chart, you use the outfielder, and then of course you roll 2d10, and it'll give you a result. On a cutoff, infielder cuts off the throw, all trailing runners hold. Most of the time that's what will happen. Then of course sometimes people are thrown out, sometimes there's an error involved, and so on and so forth. So that's that chart. It's pretty straightforward. This game, I need you to approach it. It's not going to be the most detailed game out there. This is a quick, fast game that is a lot of fun. Capitalize fun, F-U-N, and it's really ultimately, it gives you extremely realistic results. So I've played a whole season with it, and it was pretty amazing. You can look at the Oakland A's 1971 Deep Drive final stats video that I did, and you'll see amazingly accurate results on every level, on base percentage, and walks and strikeouts and just everything. So averages and everything, home runs and so on and so forth. So that's what this game is. Easy to play. It's got a little bit of strat in it, a little bit of app in it, and it's got a status pro section with a deep drive chart where that gives your extra base hits to the batters, and you can get that off the batter card or off the pitcher card. So if the pitcher gave up a lot of extra base hits, he's going to have a big, thick, deep drive opportunity on his card. So, and if pitchers didn't give up a lot of home runs or extra base hits, then it's going to be very, very small. So you'll see the pitcher influencing deep drives as well in this game. So anyway, that's about it. Just wanted to make a short look at the choice chart. And if you watch my videos, I will give you kind of hints and hacks and tips and suggestions on things that I do to make it my own, to make my vision of baseball on the tabletop come to life. And you'll get that from my videos. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Also join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group and the Deep Drive Facebook group as well. I'm Tony Porter, and this is Tabletop Baseball Digest, signing off with another short tutorial.